So today the Nobel Prize, or yesterday, the Nobel Prize for Physics was awarded to three scientists, Alain Aspect, John Clauser, and Anton Zeilinger, for work that has laid the foundation for a new era of quantum technology. The Nobel Committee for Physics said. The scientists have each conducted groundbreaking experiments using entangled quantum states where two particles behave like a single unit even when they're separated, the committee said in a briefing. Their results, it said, cleared the way for new technology based on quantum information. The laureates' research builds on the work of John Stuart Bell, a physicist who strove in the 60s to understand whether particles having flown too far apart for there to be normal communication between them can still function in concert, also known as quantum entanglement. According to quantum mechanics, particles can exist simultaneously in two or more places. They do not take on formal properties until they are measured or observed in some way. By taking measurement of one particle, like its position or spin, a change is observed in its partner, no matter how far away it has traveled from its pair. Working independently, the three laureates did experiments that helped clarify a fundamental claim about quantum entanglement, which concerns the behavior of tiny particles like electrons that interacted in the past and then moved apart. Okay, so that's the news. I'm reading the news, and people are excited because now there will be technology for cryptography. Quantum entanglement will allow calculations and computers to work much faster and see correlations much more instantaneously than ever before. What is the deeper meaning, though, of this quantum entanglement? I think the quantum entanglement is actually a fundamental property of the whole universe, which means every single particle is entangled with every other single particle. You may have heard of the expression, when the electron vibrates, the universe shakes. But this whole thing about distance in space-time may be a perceptual artifact. You know, when we look at all the theories, new theories, including Einstein's theory of relativity, both the general theory of relativity and special theory of relativity, they all say that time is relative to the position and speed of the observer. That's, of course, the special theory, and general theory says time, what gravity is the curvature of space-time. Nobody can conceptualize it. There you are. So in a way, what these theories are all suggesting is that at the most fundamental level, space-time, energy, information, and matter, and density of matter, and even length of objects is all entangled. In other words, fundamental reality is that which gives rise simultaneously to the experience of space-time, energy, information, and matter. But who or what is having the experience? And, you know, in all these theories, including Einstein's theory, that which is having the experience is said to be a person, you know, or conceptualized as an embodied observer. However, there is no such thing as an embodied observer. The body itself is an observation. You observe the body. So body appears on the screen of consciousness. There's no observer inside the body, as I've said. No little Deepak sitting here looking at the world through these eyes. So who or what is the observer is never defined. Only the observations are defined in all these theories, with the assumption that the observer is a person. And furthermore, it's a scientist. So with its own special ways of observing, with microscopes, telescopes, quantum computers now, and hadron colliders, etc. But where exactly is the observation occurring? And the answer is it cannot be anywhere else other than in consciousness. Okay, the observation, the measurement, and the decision to measure all happens in consciousness. And that consciousness itself has no location in space or time, because it has no boundaries, it has no form. It is infinite and therefore boundaryless. And all boundaries are perceptual artifacts with the assumption that the observer is inside the body. Since no observer can be found inside the body, the observer at all times is non-local and impersonal. And it is the field itself, the field of consciousness, that is a knowing field that experiences itself as space-time, energy, information, and matter. Just like look at your own biological organism. If you eat a little bit of food, your blood pressure will go up, heart rate will speed up, your brain will go into a different activity, your digestive system will start operating differently, blood flow to various parts of the body will be different, endocrine function, immune function, and all the feedback loops in your body will be affected, and they're all correlated with each other. They're all entangled with each other. So every activity, right now as I'm speaking, it's affecting my heart rate, my blood flow, and on, and my activity is entangled with yours right now if you're listening to me. So, there's no location for the mind, because the mind is embodied and relational, and it's a process that regulates the flow of energy and information in an ecosystem of relationships. Mind has no location. In fact, body has no location, because, body is a constantly changing process and is not in one location at any time. So body has no location, mind has no location. And of course, consciousness that is differentiating into the experience of different locations, experience the appearance because of perceptual artifacts and misunderstanding of where the observer is. Conscious has no location. Location in space-time is a human construct and also an experience when we assume that we, the observer, are inside the body. But a fundamental reality has no boundaries. And as John Wheeler said, the boundary of a boundary is boundaryless, or something to the effect. Then actually there's no spooky action at a distance, and there's no distance in space-time. And all our issues about identity and about reality are based on a provisional and wrong identity, the embodied observer. The body is an observation. And furthermore, the body is made of the same non-stuff as everything else, okay? And at the deepest level, your body has no boundaries as well. Okay, so this whole thing, entanglement, non-local correlation, synchronicity, cosmic mind, universal consciousness, fundamental reality, are one entity. And that one entity is you, beyond your division of yourself into observer, process of observation, and that which is observed. This knowing intellectually is not enough. It has to be experienced. And when you experience that all is one, that is also called pure love. So pure love is also infinite entanglement. The only relation we have is with infinity, because that's who we are, the infinite in a momentary, flashing, finite phenomenon that we call the body-mind. Well, I hope this helps, or maybe it doesn't, but I needed to say it because it's all over the news right now.